Hello friends, and welcome to Shauna Stitches. I'm Shauna and this is my crafty podcast where I talk about all the things that I've been working on lately. Today is Monday, February 28th, 2022, and this is episode number 48. I almost said 28. It's 48. It might as well be episode number 1 because it's been just over 2 years since I last recorded a podcast. Crazy, I know. Life stuff happened. As you see, there's already going to be dog interruptions. That's Cody. He's our pit lab mix, and he's getting old. Do you want to say hi, Cody? Come here. Come here. Come here. Come. Now he gets shy. Come here. Up. Come. Cody. Come here. There we go. Come on. Say hi. Well, he kind of said hi. Anyway, I was saying I haven't recorded in 2 years because I was getting my master's degree, and I will talk about that later. In case you saw, I probably flashed my phone up for a second. I do have show notes on my phone. I'm going to try and follow them. They're not super detailed or anything, but yeah, I'm rusty, as people say when they haven't done this for a long time. We're coming from my living room today, so I hope that you will grab something tasty to drink. I have my decaf coffee in a Crazy Sock Lady mug. I'm not the Crazy Sock Lady, but I am a Crazy Sock Lady. So yeah, I don't record in my craft room anymore because it is a guest room craft room, so this is what we're going to do today. And I'm afraid if I set this down, I'm going to spill it everywhere, so hopefully I don't, because that's going to be a mess. If you watched any of my previous episodes, welcome back. And if this is your first time, welcome. I'm so happy to have you here to talk about crafting with me today. Today is going to be focused on knitting, spinning, and a new to me craft, which is EPP, that's English paper piecing. So yeah, let's jump right in. I'm going to start with some finished objects. Oh, now Fiona wants to say hi. She hears me talking. She's like, what's going on? This is Fiona. She's my 12-ish year old Chihuahua. And I have another Chihuahua who is 13. His name is Rudy. And he probably will not make an appearance because he's snoozing. Anyway, finished objects. The first finished object I'm going to show you today were for the Between Knits and Pearls, yes and no. It's for the Knitting the Blues Away Cowl, K-A-L, knit along. And I knit these socks for the Zebra Yarns and Between Knits and Pearls knit along that they had. It was the beginning of January, something to kind of get over the holiday slump and feel like you're ready for spring, I guess. So it was all these bright colors by Zebra Yarns. I just came up with a little slip stitch pattern every color change, which I think is nice. I've never done anything like that before. It's almost vanilla. Both of these colors are by Zebra Yarns. They didn't have a colorway name, but it's just a pink and white stripe with this contrast purple color. But if you look closely at the purple, it's almost like a pinky purple. Anyway, very exciting. Not only are these finished, but I was a prize winner in the cowl. I won this beautiful sock set by Zebra Yarns, which I don't think has a colorway name. I'm not sure. She might not name any of her colorways. I guess because they're distinct enough. I'm not sure. So this I would call a pink and yellow stripe. I believe it's just a two-way or two color repeat with a undyed sock mini. So not only did I win that, but I won these really cool wooden sock blockers that are adjustable. You can adjust them to whatever size you need them to be. And these don't have a maker name, so I'm not sure who makes them, but they're pretty cool. Speaking of Between Knits and Pearls, Emily and Stephanie, I just want to say thank you for calling me out and encouraging me to podcast again. It's really hard when you stop doing something to get back going. I just noticed my cheeks are still looking really red. I just got back from the chiropractor and they make you lay face down on this horrible torture device of a table that pinches your face. And it takes forever for it to go away for me, so that's it. I'm not like wearing football makeup or something. All right, what next? Next up, I'm gonna show you some really crazy socks. These are a modified version of the Curio Sock by Andrea Mowry. And I say modified because I made this into a knee-high length sock. As you can see, it's quite long. This is all 24 stripes of the Cozy Knitter 2021 Christmas self-striping sock. And it's alternated every other round, which is the Curio pattern, with a undyed matching the toe here and these little seams that go up the side. So yeah, I used Andrea Mowry's Fluorite sock, which is supposed to be a knee-high. So I combined the Curio and the Fluorite to make a really long sock. And I have to say, it fits fabulous. I don't have the biggest calves or ankles, so it was fine for me. If you do, you'd probably just want to try it on more often and add more whatever increases. But I'm gonna see, I don't know how best to show this. Maybe on this one. So if you'll see, this section here is thinner here than it is up here. And that's where I added my extra stitches. So it's very cohesive. It doesn't look like it gets bigger, but it does, which I don't know. I pat myself on the back for that one because I'm happy with how it came out. The other really cool thing about using this Curio sock pattern, if you have limited yarn, is that you will have a ton of leftovers. This is what I have left. I believe I still have a complete 24 set, two 24 sets, I should say. So I could make another pair of socks with these. Probably for my size feet, they would either be shorties or I could do the Curio again and make them really tall. Actually, you know, I might do that and make a pair for my husband of the Curio. He has much bigger feet, so they wouldn't be that tall. I know he wouldn't want them that tall, so yeah. This is the label from the Cozy Knitter 2021 Advent. That was my first year doing her sock advent. All the other years I had major FOMO, and so I gave in, which was awesome. I am so happy I did. I really enjoyed that. I mostly stayed caught up too, which was impressive. I said I'd talk about it later, but I finished my master's degree, I think it was December 13th, so it was a huge sigh of relief. I thought I was gonna have all this extra free time. Not the case. I don't know. I feel it was something. Okay, next up, I've already gone out of order if you can imagine that. Next up are these hand spun, hand knit DRK everyday socks. I really love this pattern, the DRK everyday sock pattern. It has made me a, I won't say 100% convert, but almost 100% convert to toe up. I've always been a cuff down knitter, and I knit my socks almost exclusively on a 2.25 9-inch circular. So for toe up, I just start magic loop, and as soon as I'm ready to start the contrast color or the foot, I switch over to 9-inch circulars. What I really love about this pattern is the Flegel heel. I can knit this entirely on a 9-inch circulars. I don't have to pick up stitches. It fits really well. The ribbing helps it fit well. It's a great sock pattern. So if you'll look at that, that is my hand spun. I used the first 4 colors of a fiber advent from Pearly Shell. It's a fiber and yarn shop in Ilwaco, Washington, close to where I live. I live in Oregon, by the way. And I took the first 3 days and spun singles of each and then did a 3-ply. So you see it's kind of self-striping a little bit. And then I used the 4th day, spun it itself, made a 3-ply, and used that for the contrast. I have worn these a little bit, but mostly just to spin in. I don't know, there's something about wearing hand spun socks to spin with. I don't know, it's just a little motivating, especially because I'm currently spinning a sock yarn. I don't have the bobbin to show you because I left it on my wheel. I spin on a Lindrum DT, which means double treadle. I love that wheel. But it's just kind of hard to remove when you're mid-project. But I do have the fiber here to show you. This is all I have left except for the little bit that's on my wheel. This is a Cheviot, my first time spinning Cheviot actually, and it's, you can tell, white, pink, and gray. I'm gonna insert a picture of what the bobbin looks like. I love how this is spinning up. In the fiber itself, it looks maybe like it'd be kind of plain or boring, but I love when a dyer leaves white undyed fiber in a spinning braid because it mixes with the other colors, and it creates so many different depths of shade of those shades. So of course it matches, and you can see I have light pink and darker pink and gray, light gray, dark gray. I don't know. I'm so excited. So I'm spinning this up to be a cable ply sock yarn, which is new to me. I've never done that, which means I'm spinning very fine. I am about 60 wraps per inch on my singles, and I'm spinning them with twice the normal twist. It's very hard to judge that because, I mean, how do you judge normal twist or twice as much? Basically, I'm just often doing a playback check to see how much twist I have, and if it looks like way more than I would normally have, I'm calling it good. I hope that's good. So I'm spinning the singles in a Z twist, which is clockwise, and with twice the twist, like I said. Then I'm gonna do a make a cake on my yarn caker. What do you call that? Ball winder? Oh my gosh, I'm so rusty. I like yarn caker. It sounds better than ball winder. Anyway, I'm gonna make a cake. I insert a folded toilet paper roll, an empty one, which keeps it open. And then I will ply singles in a S direction with twice the twist from both ends of the cake. It can get a little messy, but I have done it before and it's always worked out. The only concern is that it's gonna have twice the twist, both in the singles and in the first ply. So I have to let it rest and be patient and make sure the twist has kind of settled down or died down so that it's not a complete tangly mess. Anyway, yeah, so that will have twice the twist as well. Then once that's rested, I will recake it and spin it or ply it Z twist again, clockwise, with the normal amount of twist, and that creates the two plies to kind of cable around each other. It looks really cool. Like I said, I've not done it before, so I can't show you an example, and I don't know how it's gonna look in these colors. I've seen it where it's really kind of wild colors, and it looks so cool because it looks like just these little blips of color, almost like a speckle, but not. And a cable ply sock yarn is supposed to be very durable, so even though I'm not using anything with nylon or silk or mohair, they should hold up. If everything goes according to plan, this 4-ply will be a fingering weight and will be enough yardage for a pair of socks. So yeah, it's just taking a really long time to spin because, like I said, those singles are so stinking thin. Speaking of spinning, I don't know, since the beginning of the year, I've just really been on a kick of slowing down and crafting, but crafting, it's not like I'm doing less, I'm just doing things slower. So along that vein, I have tried to take up support spindling. This is a Russian spindle I got from Etsy. If you can imagine why I picked it, it's pink. that's the only caveat I had. This one actually came from Russia, which I ordered it thinking, we'll see if it even shows up. It was a reasonable price. Honestly, I'm gonna say it was like $25 and maybe even free shipping. I am very happy with it, no complaints at all, and it came very fast for coming from Russia. Although I will say, I'm not gonna get into politics, but with everything going on, I probably wouldn't be ordering from Russia right now. But this I had for a while. So yeah, it's support spindling is a whole different animal, and learning how to wind this correctly, I wouldn't take any tips from this project because I don't know that I'm doing it right. But I do know that you want it thicker in the middle and thinner as it goes out. So anyway, I'm doing that just every so often. I will say it's really interesting. I'm using this fiber that I got from Paradise Fibers. Off the top of my head, I don't know what it is, and I don't think that the card for it is in my bag. But this is their Halloween one, so this is back from October. I didn't start it in October, but I don't know. I'm kind of the type of person who, when I'm doing something new, I don't want to use anything that's too precious to me. So this colorway I was not attached to. Same with the Cheviot. Honestly, I looked through my stash because I had just gotten some Inglenook fibers and I was dying to spin with it. But I didn't want to try doing something new with a fiber that is somewhat precious to me. I know I can get more, but Inglenook, if you're familiar, is kind of hard to get. So this was from my very first fiber festival where I bought my wheel. Actually, the whole braid was $10 for a 4-ounce braid. And I figured I love the colors, so why not, you know? Nothing to lose. It's kind of weird. I will go back to this for 1 second. Spinning this, it feels a little coarse, but now that I'm feeling it, it feels really soft. And I've heard other people who have spun it say it can feel that way when you're spinning, but it feels really nice. So I guess we'll see. What's next? Oh, I only have one real whip other than spinning that I'm working on. Believe me, I have many others on the needles. Too many, actually. I just haven't wanted to pick any of them up. But I think I'm losing stitches. No, maybe not. Anyway, this is the sock head cowl, which I've made before and I love. In all black, if you can't tell. And not only is it all black, of course I don't have my tag for this one. I can't remember. I think this is Magpie Fibers. It's in a, I know it's got cashmere, but I don't remember what the base is called. I'm holding that double with a Beaches and Bushes mohair. Oh gosh. Okay. Can we see this? No. You might have to take my word for it. There we go. Beaches and Bushes mohair in just black. So what I love about the sock head cowl is multiple things, but that you get to use all your yarn. So I had one fingering weight 100-gram cake and then 2 of the mohairs. And I'm making this to wear on the really cold days at work. So that's gonna be so nice. I feel at this rate, I'll have it done when the weather starts to warm up, but I'll wear it next year. It is what it is. It's not that I've lost my mojo. Like I said, I just really, I just want to take things slower. And also, knitting with all black is really boring. I did lie. I do have one other whip. I haven't touched it in a while, but I did want to mention it. I am working on a twisted Harlow hat. This is the worsted weight version, patterned by Andrea Mowry. And I'm knitting this for my husband. I made him the fingering weight one years ago when her original pattern came out. And that is his favorite hat. And so I thought he would love a worsted weight one for the colder weather. And again, it probably won't be ready until next year's colder weather. I'm just using some, what is this, Lion Brand Wool Ease in 2 different colors. The gray is gray heather, and the blue is Blue Mist. It's not a fancy yarn. Actually, I think I bought this before the beginning of the year. I know I've said this before, but I'm trying really hard this year and probably the next 5 years, if I'm being honest, to use my stash. And it doesn't help when I've slowed down. I went crazy for Advents this last year, so I have a lot, both fiber and yarn. But also, I bought a fiber Advent this year. They're doing, Pearly Shell, who I mentioned previously, is doing a summer countdown. I think it starts in June, leading up to probably the summer solstice, but I have a different plan for that. I'm gonna spin it. I'm not gonna open one every day. So anyway, that's for later plans. All right. What else do I have to talk about? Oh, yes, I know. English paper piecing. So I saw Kristen of Volenvine, I can't talk, talking about English paper piecing, and I don't know what it was about it that completely caught my interest. I've tried quilting before, and I will say I'm not a fan. I don't enjoy quilting. I don't feel confident cutting the fabric to the right size or sewing on my sewing machine. I don't know, it's just not my thing. Plus, I always have my sewing machine set up in my craft room, which, you know, it's only just me and my husband and my dogs here, but still you feel kind of separated from the family. I have this project in a very fancy project box, a old shoebox. And I started first with some hexagons. So I'm not gonna go into like a whole tutorial or anything, but just to briefly explain to you, you cut little, well, first of all, actually, you start with little papers that you cut to size, or you can buy them cut to size. And then you cut fabric slightly bigger, either with a 1/4 or 3/8 inch seam allowance. And you can either glue based or, oh, that light is so bright. Sorry, I did get some lights to help things, but it seems to be making things more difficult too. Anyhow, you glue or thread based, which I'm gluing, the fabric to the paper with, I'm using Elmer's school glue, the purple kind, because the color you can see, but it disappears. Anyway, they make a special kind for it, but it's super expensive. And not knowing if I was gonna like this craft, I was like, let's go inexpensive. And actually it's working great, so I highly recommend it. Anyhow, once you have a bunch of hexagons made up, you can join them together. I should have started here. So this is what I do first. I join them in 7 hexagons to make a little flower. And once you have a bunch of those made up, then you can join those together to make something bigger. So this is 49 1-inch hexagons, which was a total of 8 of those little flowers that I showed you. And I have several more sewn that are ready to be added. I'm just working on the last one that I have enough hexagons for. I only had 2 left out of the 100 that I initially basted up. I had to take a break because, can you see that? I have a hole in my finger. That hurts. The needles that they recommend for this have a eye size, the same size as the tip. And then I went into that same hole like 3 times and I was like, nope. I need a break. So I ordered a thimble this morning. I hope it gets here soon because I'm really excited about that project. I need to get some more hexagons made up so I can keep it going. I'm thinking it's probably going to be baby blanket size at this point, but we'll see. It could take thousands of hexagons to make a regular adult size blanket. But speaking of adult size blankets, again, Kristen of Volenvine showed this book, and this is truly what caught my interest. Man, lights are something else. There, if I hold it at a weird angle that you can't read it, it works. Anyway, she showed this book. It's by Willeen Hammerstein. I'm not sure that I say that name right, but there it is. She has 4 volumes of beautiful quilts. Absolutely beautiful. There's one. Anyway, this is all English paper piecing. It's insane. So, of course I was drawn to the cover one, the same one that Kristen's working on, which is funny because like in these colors, I'm not drawn to it at all. But Kristen's was really pretty, and I started looking online at different projects that people have made and just thought it was so beautiful. So, I dove down that rabbit hole. I got this book from Amazon, which it was not cheap, let me tell you. It's really hard to spend a lot of money on something that you're not like certain that you're gonna love. But anyway, I'm there now because after doing the hexagons, I was like, all right, I'm all in. I really enjoy this. so different than sewing a traditional quilt, at least to me. And I know it's kind of slow, but I don't mind it, I guess. Again, I'm doing this whole slow thing this year. It wasn't intentional, it just happened. Well, anyway, so I was going to cut all my paper pieces out, and then I started looking online. There is a shop called Paper Pieces right there, and they're online. You can buy all of your papers pre-cut, which is such a time saver. Honestly, for the price that it was, oh my goodness, lights, there we go. This quilt is like 2,900 pieces, and the time and paper that it would take and cost in time to make all those would just well worth it. So anyway, I got all the papers for that, and I went and bought fabric, which is not handy to show you, but I'll show you as I'm making it. This is going to be like a years-long project, I have no doubt. But I started making the, oh my goodness. You can't even tell that that's a triangle, I don't think. Anyway, I'll insert a picture. This is a teeny tiny triangle, and I made about 280 of these yesterday, because the only fabric that I have prepared so far is my white fabric, which is going to be all the star points. It's pretty hard to see on this. But see, okay, actually you can see that really well. Right there by my finger, right here, is a star. So different quilters have done different things. Some of them use a different color star point for every single block, or I guess not block, but rosette is what they're called. They're circular. Or they change them throughout the quilt. This one used black. I'm gonna use white for all of them. It just seemed like the easier way to go. So, let's see, what else? I guess I didn't say what that quilt was called, and there's a reason for that, because it's in Italian, and I don't think I'm saying it right. There it is written out. I think it's pronounced La Passagagia, something like that. Anyway, if you type that in to Pinterest or YouTube, Instagram, anywhere that you find your crafty stuff, you will see so many projects, and they are simply amazing. To think about the time that goes into something like that when it's finished is just mind-boggling. Oh yeah, so I guess I'm going to talk about some things that I've read lately, and then a little bit of life stuff, not a lot. And obviously I didn't show you everything I've worked on the last 2 years, that would be silly. But these are the things I've worked on recently or plan on working on soon. As far as reading goes, once I finished school and didn't have to read for school anymore, I actually started to enjoy reading again. And I have devoured the first 3 books of Outlander. So good. I'm on the 4th book now, and I've kind of slowed down because I haven't been working on anything that I can read and do at the same time. But Glenn, my husband, just got me the audiobook for 1 and 2, and we started watching the show. Like, I'm just obsessed. I don't know what it is about it, but I don't know, it's so good. Obviously there's some really not so good parts in there too, but the story itself is just captivating, and every time I think nothing else could possibly happen, I mean, in the back of my mind, I know there's 9 total books, so I know more is gonna happen, and each book is like 1,000 pages, so much more is gonna happen, but like, I don't know, my life is boring compared to that. Anyhow, that's what I am reading. Also, I just finished the first September and Shadow. I don't have the author's name written down. It's a trilogy, and the first one's called Lost and Found. I'm reading it. I'm listening to it on audiobook on Chirp. If you've never heard of Chirp, I highly recommend it. It's like Audible. You purchase the books, you own the books, you can listen to them as many times as you want, but they are much less expensive. I'll say though, actually, it's when they're on sale, they're less expensive. They always have deals, they always have something usually in the genre that you want to listen to, but if you're looking for a specific title, it's probably not on sale. And then for Christmas, Glenn got me the Midnight Library. I'd asked for it, and oh my gosh, that was such a good book. it's actually kind of depressing to start with, but I think the story behind the Midnight Library is a really good one, and I read through it so fast, which was crazy because normally I read on my Kindle, and Glenn got it for me in paperback. Not paper, it's a hardback, but like in paper. And I thought, oh, this is gonna be really hard to knit and read, but no, it's great, I loved it. So, yes, life stuff. I graduated, I'm a graduate, I got my master's. I graduated with a 4.0, which once I started, that became my goal because my first semester I got A's and I was just like, oh, I've already started it, I don't want to ruin it now. And I managed to get straight A's, which, I don't know, shocks me, I guess. Not really, I mean, I worked hard, but I don't know. Sometimes you doubt yourself, I guess. I didn't think I was smart enough to get straight A's, but yes, I'm happy to be done. Ultimately, it doesn't change my work plan a whole lot, although it opens up my opportunities. And I did get a promotion at work about a year ago now, and so I'm a supervisor, which brings a whole other world of things into my life. You know, before I was just kind of worried about me. I still worried about my coworkers, but kind of what they did was what they did and what I did was what I did. And now you have to look at things completely differently, which is what my degree is for leadership and supervision. So it's nice to be able to apply it immediately and actually apply it as I was learning the stuff. So it's been really good. Would I do it again? Yes, absolutely. I'm thankful that I picked the college that I picked, that it was all online, that I had really great instructors who actually work in the field that they were teaching, because I find that isn't always the case. But yeah, what else? I don't know. I'm sure a lot of life stuff has happened between now and 2 years ago. I mean, if you missed it, I buzzed all my hair off and it's this long now. So lots has happened. Wow, I can't talk. A lot has happened, but nothing that really sticks out in my head. I'm sure as soon as I push the stop recording button, I will remember things and wish that I said other things. But anyway, if you've made it this far, I just want to say thank you so much for being here. I appreciate you watching, and hopefully it won't be another 2 years before I record again. All right, friends, thanks for joining me. I'll talk to you soon. Bye.